Hi. So, Anna Oot, Anna Oot talked about Gypsy Rose, and I was like, you have gotta be kidding me. Why can't people just leave her alone? Why? I mean, all I know is that ever since I heard about her story, I just felt bad for her. I really, really did. And ever since she got out, people wanted to throw a party for her, give her all this hype. But then, a week or two later, people were against her. They wanted her to go back to jail and suffer there. And get cancelled online. Or think of the stupidest things like Ryan being related to her. Because her husband Ryan looks so similar to her mother. Or the fact that Nicholas Godejohn was actually a nice person and that Gypsy manipulated him into do the murder. Oh my god. Especially due to a podcast, which I have never watched in my life because podcasts are stupid. And for some reason, people just went out of their way to blame this Gypsy for being a fraud. Oh my god. Okay, I was thinking about The Little Mermaid action, about Halle Bailey as Ariel, of course, and it's almost similar to how Gypsy's being treated. Now, there are some differences. When Halle Bailey was first announced to be playing as Ariel, people back then didn't freak out that much about it. But apparently, they did recently when the trailer came out a year ago. Back in, like, I can't remember either February or March. But all I know is that people were freaking out because Ariel was now black. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. They were also pointing out stupid reasons like how Ariel's hair isn't red enough like the original, or the fact that, I don't know, being a black mermaid is scientifically impossible, or that, oh, I don't know. I don't know. The fact that, woke. Why? I have already talked about The Little Mermaid 1,000 of times, especially with someone who will not get the hint, because they just complain about how I'm wasting their precious time. And I'm like, what precious time? For you to work and just work on making pornography? Because, let's just face it, for me, I want to be a nice person. Because when I was little, everything was just fine. Nobody was being mean or anything. Except for sometimes my own family, mostly my mom. And things got harder when I was older. I mean, sure, when you're older, things become more difficult, people have less control over you. But at the same time, I thought everything was fine when I was little, but things just kept getting worse and worse the time I got older. And now, since I'm 20 years old and practically an adult at this point, I'm not a friggin' teenager. And that I'm just gonna say this. There's just this minor thing that keeps on bothering me, and it's from my own family. My mom, dad, and Nana keep saying I have an attitude. An attitude. I am not a child anymore. I am not a child. I am not even a teenager. I'm a 20-year-old adult. I don't know how people just keep on complaining to me, especially in front of my face. Especially due to the fact that I'm sensitive, emotional, especially suffering from autism. I told that person about The Little Mermaid one last time. I told him to delete the post that he made about his son's opinions because the comments are just horrendous. I said to him, I want him to delete it, and that will make sure never to speak about this again. But he refused. So I was like, okay, why can't I just say this to you? Stop being a fucking prick, or else I'll kill you. And he was like, fine, I'll delete it for your sake. And I was like, fine, be that way. Because that would be the last thing that I would want you to do anyway. So be it, be a jerk. Because I want to be a nice person and respect people, but you're not being what I would want to be. No. You're not being the way that most people are. You're not being nice, you're not being respectful, you're not being cooperative. Especially since I would imagine if I would have confronted someone about their behavior or of what they said to me, they would be like, I would just think that they would say, okay, I understand that you're upset, you're frustrated, you're angry at me. Oh, fine, I'll do it. Just as long as you don't hurt me. But that's the opposite. That was the opposite. Because most people are just not that nice anymore. Especially when I try to talk to them about certain things that bother me. And they don't care. They do not give a shit. They just, sometimes I feel like they hate me. Sometimes I feel like they hate the things that I talk about because it's none of their business, and I might understand, but at the same time, it still bothers me. Why? Because people are stupid. People are crazy. People will not shut up about these things. I just want it to be over. And that's the same thing happening with Gypsy Rose. She will not be left alone because of these toxic, idiotic, psychopathic people. I don't understand how the internet is. Sorry, I meant to say is that I don't know how people on the internet act. They just act so crazy. On the one hand, people are nice, but on the other hand, people are rude. On the first hand, people are nice, people are respectful, people are honest, people are actually genuine. The other hand, people are mean, people are toxic, people do not understand, people do not care, and people just act like complete jerks for no reason. Especially. I really do not understand how I even communicate with these people. Because I feel like now, especially if I try to talk things with them about how I feel and what I would want, They're not listening. They don't care. I feel like they hate me. And people hate Gypsy Rose because she said this, she said that, blah, 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 blah. Excuse me. She was tortured by her own mother. She was locked up in her house by her mother. And when she fell in love with Nicholas, they were equally manipulated by each other. And when she thought that murder was the only way possible for her to get out of her mother's life, it was too late. When Nicholas already arrived, she just went with it regardless. Sure, she's the one that planned the murder, but she didn't actually commit it. But at the same time, she was guilty. She pled guilty. And she served her time, and that's it. So why do you care? Why does anyone care? Why would anyone want to hurt her like this? Oh, I know why. They're stupid, they're crazy, they're absolute toxic. I really do not understand how people are even like this. Especially people who do pornography. I said it, pornography. Because I have seen it on DeviantArt. Either characters or people in real life. Just pornography. Naked women. Showing off their private parts openly. Wanting to have physical activities or fun with their male admirers. Especially the ones who post the damn things online. Sorry. This video might be age restricted, but I really don't care because I have a lot of feelings and people don't care. I'm not sure what to do. All I want to do is just wait for the Walton Files 4 to come out on Friday. That's it. Okay, that's all. Please, leave me alone. I'm not in the mood to even talk about this. Because I don't know why people have to be so idiotic. So evil, so mean. Such jerks. If they're just gonna act like a jerk for the rest of their life, then fine then. It's their funeral. They're gonna die regardless of their actions. I want bad people to die. I want good people to live. And I want to be a good person. I want to be normal. I want to live. Why can't I just live? Why? Why does life have to be like this? Just why? Why? What's your problem? What's your problem with The Little Mermaid? What's your problem with Gypsy Rose? What's your problem with all of this? You probably don't have an answer because you don't care. You don't care about anything that I say to you because your precious time is wasted. Like hell. Like hell you have time. You have time to do stupid stuff like pornography, like I said. Or, I don't know, just bitch, complain about issues. Is that what you're doing? I'm not one of those sensitive people who complain about everything. I'm a sensitive person emotionally. I care about certain things in life because people bother me. People are rude, and I don't like them. So fuck off.